105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:06. We're going to hand it off to Chris Plant in 1 hour, but in 30 minutes we'll talk to Brett Baer, and in just a few minutes we'll touch base with our friends Mercedes Schlepp and Sean Spicer, who were rocking out with Yachtly Crew with me and Meredith last night at the Birchmere. It was, well, as you acknowledged earlier, Patrice, it was old white guy music there.
Yeah, air guitaring. I already know.
I was out of my seat most of the time. It was great. And WMAL Nation was there too. Boy, they love that music. So we'll relive the glory of last night's Yacht Rock extravaganza coming up in just a moment. But first, it is... Yeah. Exactly. It is, in fact, corn maze, a pumpkin picking, apple picking season, 100%. And this weekend is going to be a gorgeous one. Looking at sunny skies on Sunday, close to 80-degree temperatures. Teresa Summers, owner of the legendary Summers Farm, joins us now. And happy fall, Teresa. I know you guys are like, you gear up for this every year. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So Summers Farm is so fun with your corn maze and with all of the do you still have the apple cannons? That's always a fun one for my kids.
We do. We do have our apple cannons open.
That's fantastic. And what can you reveal what the maze design is this year?
Okay, it is celebrating tradition and heritage. It focuses on our family farm. We are now in our fourth generation. Involved in the daily activities of our farm. So it's like a farm scene with a barn, tractor, wagon, silos.
Oh, yeah. Patrice, I'm looking at the overhead shot of it. It doesn't, it looks, I mean, it's lovely. It also looks pretty challenging compared to mazes in the past.
Well, this is good because Teresa, whether you like the corn maze or you like the flying pig zip line, it sounds like you have something for every age from the youngest to the oldest. Can you give us some examples of what the 45 attractions you have going on?
Yes, we have our wagon rides to the pumpkin patch. We have lots of farm animals, including 10 baby goats that have been born this week. We talked about a corn maze. We have jumping pillows, the pumpkin train, giant slides. But for older kids and teens, we also have tetherball. We have a ball zone. It's basketball, baseball, cornhole, ring toss, and a new activity is new. It's called grain bin basketball. And so that's something new that we have here at the farm.
Can you describe it? Grain bin basketball.
Yes. So when I was a kid, we had what we call gravity wagons, and we used to drive them around the fields. And they were used to haul eared corn that we would shell to feed our animals. So I've repurposed them and turned them into an activity where you shoot basketballs into the bin.
Of course you do.
It's fun.
I love that all the things you do to sort of fight boredom on the farm has actually now become basically a theme park for everybody to come into.
Yes. What I did not like as a kid, it was physical work to have to do the hard work, and now I've turned them into let's use all these things to have fun and make memories.
Do you still have the baby? You had the last time I was out there. You had are they dwarf goats or they're a special breed of goats that are super tiny? Pygmy goats, thank you. Do you still have those guys? Because they're the best.
We do.
Oh, and the little kids are the best. The babies, because they're learning how to like sort of be goats, and they like run up at each other and butt their heads against each other. It's hilarious to watch.
We have 10 of them.
Oh my goodness,
they're adorable.
Okay, so Teresa, you've got me sold. I've got 3 little ones. We're gonna do the coordinated outfits in some way. I'm sure there are lots of picture setups that we can do some backdrops.
There are.
Now, what do people need to know? The nuts and bolts, like are you open 7 days a week? And is there a cost to enter and enjoy all these activities?
We are open. Actually, this year we are closed on Tuesday, so we're open 6 days a week.
Okay.
If you just want to take a wagon ride out to the pumpkin patch and pick your pumpkin, the wagon ride is no charge. You just pay for your pumpkin, but there is a charge for the weekends and the weekday activities, but they do include everything except for our apple cannons, all activities.
Okay, great.
And it's Frederick County, Maryland, of course, is where Summers Farm is located, summersfarm.com. I remember last year, I mean, we talked about it on the air, and that was, and you got very popular. It got pretty crowded out there. That's a good thing. Although there were issues with logistics and some traffic and parking. What do people need to know about that?
Well, first, we are in Middletown now. We moved 3 miles up the road from the home farm that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
So we're right up the road at a new farm. This is our second year operating here. There is traffic. I think we have that. We have officers here helping us with that. So I think we kind of have that under control. But on the weekends, regardless, traffic is bad, so we want to allow time.
Okay.
You know, one thing that you offer that I'd love to do, it's been a while since, I think it was pre-COVID when I think there was a group of us as friends, and Heather Hunter and her husband Derek and the kids and everybody went out there. So I'd love to do that as a group again, maybe with Patrice and Julie and the whole team.
Yeah.
And tell me about because I guess what I'm getting at is if we're a big group and we do the whole thing, at the end of the day, you have these campfire rentals, you know, when the sun goes down. Tell me about that. That sounds so cool that you basically have a whole campfire set up. So at the end of your day, you can actually have a fun evening as well.
You can, but they have to be reserved ahead of time because we do have 44 campfires for each day, but we sell out. They're only on the weekends. A lot of people like to rent a campfire Friday and Saturday evening for our fireworks, which our first fireworks will be this evening around 7. So it's fun. It's a great place to gather around, to make memories with your family and friends, and a great meeting place as you go to enjoy the activity.
Do you provide the s'mores fixins, or do we need to bring that?
We don't provide the s'mores, but we do provide the wood, and we keep the fire lit for everybody.
And can we get apple cider? I love apple butter, apple cider. Like I usually like to go to do you have a general store where we can buy all those things that we can never get in the city?
Yeah, we do. We have a country store, and we do have apple cider. And we also have our homemade donuts, apple cider donuts. We make our cookies from scratch here. We have mini chocolate chip cookies, kettle corn, and we also make our own caramel for our caramel apples. And they're actually making them right now. The girls are out there getting ready, and they're making them for today.
Must smell delicious. Oof.
I want to tell you, the first time we went out to Summers Farm, there wasn't a kid in our group. The youngest person, I think, was 34. So I know we're talking about it, and it is great family fun. But I've seen grown men act like little toddlers out there at Summers Farm, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
This is our 27th season, so now we're into the third generation.
Oh, that's so
we've
cool.
become a tradition for people, and we've tried to add activities like cornhole and tetherball so that we can have something for everybody.
What is the most popular attraction, could you say? Is there for adults, and then what's the most popular one with the kids?
I think the corn maze.
Yeah.
And then I would say probably the animals and the jumping pillows.
Yeah, the jumping pillows are pretty
and apple
fun.
cannons. Apple cannons are also. I mean, that is always.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can tell you with my
young and
my friends are very pro Second Amendment. The apple cannons were a big hit, I assure you, Teresa. All right. Well, listen, we love the Summers family, and we love what you do at Summers Farm. So we will see you out there at some point, Teresa. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thanks for having me.
It is 8:50.